Hey everybody, welcome back to BMJ Fishing. I thought I'd do a quick video here. This is actually requested by one of our viewers. They wanted to see a rod and reel arsenal video, so that's what I'm doing today. Let's get started. All right, this rod here is a Ugly Stick Light. It is a 4'6" ultralight rod. I love ultralight fishing and I love ugly sticks, so you're gonna see a lot of those today. This one has a cork handle, has a Shimano Sedona 500 series reel on it. And the last lure I used with it is this Tequila Sunrise worm. I have a 6-pound test monofilament line on here. I use the red trilene line. And this is kind of my go-to rod when I'm sitting in my sit-inside kayak. I pretty much exclusively use ultralight. They're much shorter, easier to kind of maneuver with in the small cockpit, and they're also pretty fun to fight fish on. All right, rod number 2 is another ultralight Ugly Stick Light rod. This one is a 5-foot. It also has a 6-pound monofilament on there, cork handle, Shimano Sedona 500 reel. And the last lure I was using on this one is still on here. This is a Strike King Senko worm in the green pumpkin color. Once again, these are my go-to rods in my sit-inside kayak. Okay, this rod here is another Ugly Stick. This is a 5-foot ultralight. This is a 2-piece. This is the first fishing rod I ever owned in my life. This one was my go-to rod for years. This also has a Shimano Sedona 500 reel on it. 6-pound test, same as the other ones. Because of the 2-piece, I actually can't get the second piece off right now. It's actually stuck, and so that the rod guides aren't lined up really well with the rod. So I don't really use this one too much anymore, but just because it's my first rod, I kind of keep it for sentimental value. So. Okay, this rod I bring with me every time I go fishing. This is a 6-foot, 2-piece, medium action Ugly Stick. Has a Shimano Sonora reel on there. It's a 2500 series reel. I use a 10-pound test, red trilene mono, just like the other rods. I usually have a spinner bait on this one. I bring this every time I go with me. Great rod, haven't had any problems with it, and the Shimano reels are just awesome reels. All right, this rod here is another rod that I bring with me every time I go fishing. This is pretty much my #1 starter, top of the line setup that I bring with me. This is a Abu Garcia Vendetta Next Generation rod. This is a 1-piece rod. It's a medium heavy, 6'6". This is also my best reel that I have in my arsenal. This is a Shimano Stratic C14 Plus 2500 size spinning reel. Super lightweight, super balanced. The rod and reel match to the black and red. It looks really nice. This is a great rod too. It's got real nice backbone on it, but it also has a nice fast action on it as well. I typically use this for crankbaits or jigs. Right now I got a Senko worm on there just from the last time I went fishing. But yeah, this is pretty much my go-to rod whenever I go. If you ask me to bring one rod with me and that's it, this is the rod I'm choosing. All right, this rod here is a Ugly Stick GX2. It's a 1-piece medium action 6'6" rod here, 10-pound mono. This is just a starter reel that came with it. I pretty much have this just as sort of like a backup rod. If friends are going with me, I go ahead and toss them this rod as well. The reel is not the best, but the rod itself is actually pretty nice. The last time I used this, I was fishing this top water here. I needed a third rod that was over 6 feet, had some backbone on it, so that's why this little jitterbug's on here. But for the most part, I don't really use this rod too much. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good rod. I probably need to get a new reel for it soon though. All right, this is the newest rod in my collection. I'm making my way into the bait casting school here. This actually was a gift from my girlfriend for Valentine's Day, so shout out to her. Thank you very much for this. This is a St. Croix Mojo Bass rod. This is a 1-piece, 7'1", medium power, fast action rod. And then the reel on it is a Shimano Sitica 201 HG. It's a 7:1 gear ratio. I have never fished bait caster in my life. I do not know how to use one. So if you guys have any tips or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any tips for the bait casting setups. But I'm pretty excited to try this out and maybe get a couple more of these if I really like it. And I'll probably have a crankbait on here when I go out. I have a 10-pound test monofilament, the red trilene, on here as well. This rod here was the first kind of bigger rod that I've had in my arsenal. This is a 7-foot, 2-piece, medium heavy, ugly stick. I just got this from Walmart. It has the starter Shakespeare reel in here, nothing fancy. I actually use this for catfishing. So on my northern PA trip, that's what I used. I have 65-pound braided line on here. I got a big bobber for catfishing, and I have a steel leader on here with a circle hook, and that's what I use. I put my bait on there, toss it out there. I got a couple of split shot weights on here, just because the last time I went, I was trying to get my bait deeper in the water. But yeah, I just kind of cast this out, let it sit, and if the bobber starts moving around, usually I got a catfish on there. So that's pretty much all I use this for. So I'll usually only bring this if I'm actually not in my kayak. I actually use this on the shores. All right, the last rod I have is a Ugly Stick Tiger Light jigging rod. It's a 1-piece, 6'6" heavy. I actually use this for saltwater. It's got a really nice Shimano Sedona reel on here. This is a 4000 series reel, 65-pound braid. I catch flounder, striper, things like that. Saltwater on this. I also use this for catfish too if I'm putting out multiple lines and things like that. Well, everybody, that's it. That is my rod and reel arsenal. I have a couple other rods too that are kind of cheesy, so I'm not even gonna bother showing you those. But thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any comments, questions. Leave those in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And I'd be happy to listen to any comments you have on the bait casting setup. I'd really like to learn more about that. So until next time, keep those lines tight.